Monday night coming into Asia, and about 9:30 here Eastern Standard, it's going to get kind of active. I was able to make money on those British pound trades, and they already cashed me out amazingly in this U.S. account, the Oanda torture account, designed to make you just quit wanting to trade anything. So amazingly, I just came in and I didn't even just open up the platform and boom, I'm out. I won. So let me go for the time of that trade. Not a lot of money. Okay. Not a lot. It's $4, but that is 46 pips. Kinda, right? The British pounds I got filled as we tagged into the close of the day. That was pretty amazing. So I guess somebody said I should name the videos, but the ones that are called Forex, the reason why they're just called Forex is because I'm not trying to oversell it like some clickbait where you click on it and it says how to trade them, a course on how to trade the market, and the guy's turns out he's not going to show you that. So I'm not trying to oversell it. This one I am going to label RSI, relative strength index, convergence and divergence. So the convergence is when you see that signal where you're getting the reversals, positive, negative reversals. So the opposite of divergence is convergence in price in a trend. So yeah, if you're on the 13 or 14 or 20 RSI, you won't get as many signals. If we put a 2 period on the bottom and a 13 period on the top, you could do it, but you start to lose the vertical dimension of the actual price that you're looking at, unless you run a vertical monitor, a tall monitor. So in my opinion, you're kind of losing it. Now, the 13 also, you have to stretch that too. The 2 and 3 period moving averages, the 4, 5 period moving averages, RSIs, which is a moving average, okay? It's a simple moving average of price in an index. It is the MACD of moving average. I just still don't get it why people can't just use the RSI. If they want to find the holy grail, they're going to do like, well, it's smooth as I got it connected to my nesting thing on my house. See? It monitors my temperature that my body's at, so I'm in sync with the trade. Like, are you kidding me? It's just a mind-boggling pile of dysfunctional goofs trying to get off the Gilligan's Island. Huh? Really? So that never ends. And that will never end. That's just how that is. All right, so we're going to just buy a little bit of euro here. It's still drifting up a little bit. I think there's a couple bulls left here. If you went short into the weekend, which it did. Once the 4-hour traders came, once we got the crush down, I scalp out, and I'm still in this so-called losing trade that this guy didn't understand what I was doing when I posted the video about the one that I'm posting on the FX Blue. He thought that, oh, what you making fun of other people? You're down $7,000. But I'm still up $11,000 on the account, right? The account started at $2,000. So no guts, no glory on that one, because sure, I could have put in denser orders at the bottom, but like I told you, when the market closed, I was selling. I was buying into the dollar Swiss. I did the video about it. I said at the end of the day, because it's down, my rules say down big, buy big. Up big, sell big. Sideways, get in big with a tight stop. So when I say buy big, I mean wide stops. I can swing trade it. I can handle the punishment. It's down 2 days like that through the floors. We've taken out all that price, and the lonely wick's been We're scalping to the people are already scalped out right now. So I don't know what he's talking about. But these are people that they don't understand what a drawdown is. Dude, the moment you get into the trade, you're in a fucking drawdown of the spread. Now you might think that, oh, well, it's not a lot of money, but depends how big the trigger you pulled. Plus, I don't think he understands what I'm doing as far as scaling the risk. What are you gonna do, right? I'm trying to drop this order here, but I couldn't get it to go. Okay, so I'm gonna do it again. Here's the FIFOs that I wrote. So thanks, some guy did the math on it for me. If it all played out, of course, that presupposes you hold it until it retraces all the way. I mean, the loss and the if you're gonna let the whole thing play out, you could still get out of some of these trades if you think, oh, you know what, that's still tanking. Let's just then it's going to be a different trade for you. But I'm thinking it's about not getting the direction right, but how long do you think it's going to take for this trade to play out, or for it to sell off and pick up your limits, or for it to break out and confirm your continuation trade? So if you go into like this Discord with the no nonsense people, there's a lot more people joining, so you can get a big view of like how people see reality through the lens of their rule set. It's pretty silly. I mean, you just kind of have to say, okay, it looks like I've got to babysit this to make some money, or it looks like I'm just going to put in a fucking 300 pip stop and I'm gonna walk away and let this whatever the fuck happens. They're two different lifestyles, right? You're either babysitting this thing all day on your tablet, or you're going to be like, oh, I'm checking in once every end of the day. I look at my scanner. I think I got a trade here. What do you think, Gerald? Got a trade here? Mildred, you know what to do. Yeah, I know. 2% risk per trade. I know we're risking $1 million on it, but we got $1 billion. I know we're just trading for the fun of it. That's the other question. Why even trading? Why torture yourself? If you don't have the guts to get into like a swing trade, then don't swing trade it. If you don't have the guts to be in some heavy duty scalp where you're just like, oh my god, every pip is just $30. Like, what the fuck is this? Or you're like, I'm down $20. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna swing trade. Not everybody has to be sitting in front of their terminal with a meth pipe and sniping like this guy with this sold 12 standard lots. Watch this, guys. He's on a 15-minute chart, and they're taking out the high of the day. I'm going to have to do a thing about it. He makes money. He makes $147 and claims he makes $147 an hour. Like, you got to be kidding me. What are you talking about? What a harebrained view of reality. Dude, that setup's only coming like rarely. And watch out when it does break out and keeps going. Right? The day it breaks out and they don't pull back and do your little thing. He had no stops on this, but he only had $1,400 in the account. I'm assuming 1,001 leverage. So, based on the brokerage firm he had. But, it's fun. It is gambling. You may not, like for me, it's gambling because I may lose. I mean, I might blow this fucking demo account up, right? But right now I'm scalping out. I'm padding the account. I was only down. Dude, I was only down. When the Swiss franc was going, dollar Swiss was going through the floor, I was only down $2,000. Only down $2,000. Because I had scalps built in all these tickets. Dude, I'm putting, this guy has no idea how hard I'm trading on 1Ks. I'm only making $2 a ticket. But I'm up. I'm up $13,000, dude. You do that. Real or fake? You think it's easy trading fake money? I gotta hit the buttons the same fucking way, dude. Jesus. You're not trading real money. Well, I am with my real money. Right? I mean, why wouldn't I take the trade that I'm suggesting? I said the void's going to fill. It's going to be harsh. It was harsh. It's still kind of drifty. It's all toppy, but hey, I'll sell if it goes higher. I'll buy if it spikes down. I'm only interested in trading the black swan of it all. Like, for me, this is the trade. All day long. Give me that wick. Let me just get in here, man. Let me get in at the top of that thing. Right? I got sell limits pending here. Let them spike it up. I'll take that trade. Even here, let them spike it up and down. Now, here is obviously the other strategy. Market goes sideways. Even the breakout traders make this money. Come on. You got buy stop stacking up here, sell stop stacking up. Well, you know what? You're just winning because you're getting pulled into the tide of it. You could put the same thing here. You don't have to be the guy that buys on here limits and experiences this profit. You could just be a person that puts the stupid goober buy stop on here and rides it. Right? You see blue, start putting in buy stops. You see the trend going up, go the other way. Do you really think the trend's going to go on forever? Why are these trend traders just go, well, you could just range trade in the trend too. Like, okay, this might be going down. Like, what are people thinking? This is going down, but you can still range trade it, right? Like, how far off are you? If you buy low and sell high, buy low, sell high repeatedly. Right? So here comes the Swiss off the floor. The euro's starting to come back to the top of the spot we were earlier. So, yeah, we're making money here on this. Hey, don't make fun of other people's stuff if you don't know how to do trade. So the comment is, the guy says, "Why you talk about other people when you don't know how to trade?" Oh, I know how to trade. That's clicking a button. It's how to make money. Okay, you don't know how to make money. Well, where's your account? This another guy with the no content. Another no content commenter. Can't have enough of those. Jeez. Here was a nice scalp on the dollar yen. Got your buy limits in here. You're out. High probability wick. I don't know why it's that hard. Difficult. People don't like it. So what's going on with gold? Oh, it's just treading water, torturing people. And this is another thing. If you zoom out your chart like that, yeah, it's noisy. Here's how you get rid of the noise of the chart. Here's a big secret. Your broker doesn't want to let you know. Just zoom in. That'll get rid of the noise real quick. See, no noise. Look at that. Noise free. Fortunately, I got this custom pip chart here for gold only. Or you want to denoise it even more? Go to a higher time frame than the 4-hour chart. Go to the daily. There you go. There's no noise now. What else? Some guy was talking about this range on gold in the comments. If you go to the 4-hour chart here and zoom out, you can kind of see the range of it all. Okay, so we don't want to be ridiculous. This is about, we want to be able to see the bars at least. We're getting a rally here. Yeah, so we're back to $15,000. We're only down $4,500 off our all-time high. No, we were 20,300. Sorry, so I was gonna buy that plunge. But now we're gonna range trade. So range trading's back in style again. Never gets old. Here's the gold thing. Yeah, you could just keep. At this point, what am I doing in gold if I'm a gold trader? If this is the hole, I'm going to put orders in the hole. Just like I did here, orders in the hole. Where's the hole? It's up here now. Orders up here to sell. Orders down there to buy. It's a buy low, sell high system is what I'm running. So if the market is going up, I'm looking for places to sell. If I'm not in, which means I am looking for places to sell. That means exiting my longs, but you just gotta place these orders in over and over again, right? So on this 4-hour chart, you can see how much work it is to trade this to make money on just buy low, sell high, right? The trend traders are lazy people. You are just a lazy person. You're never gonna kill it. You're never gonna make a. You just can't. How are you gonna pay for everything that's costing you? Yeah, you get stopped out of shit, of course. Yeah, you're wrong, but I'm wrong incrementally. Why are you putting such a harsh? Why are you putting such a big position on? On one button press. So that's what it's about, I think, is the button pressing. But people do. They get all worked up. Oh, this better be the optimal trade entry. This better be it. Because, I've studied really hard. I've taken all the courses, and I should know. So I'm hedging this account. I'm trying to figure out, without looking in the terminal, watching the equity. But the market's not moving right now, so I can't really judge if I should buy a little bit more. Okay, I'll just wait. I got plenty of tickets in there to buy on a plunge. So I'm balancing the act between this. Okay, so this thing here, the gold market. So we've got the same interplay here. We have this hole forming, and people have buy limits in there, right? If they keep playing this range game, that's why people say support and resistance doesn't work. That's only because they are on the wrong side of that move. Oh, jeez, okay. So, in other words, this isn't going to go on forever, this range game. So what worked today may not work tomorrow in this 4-hour chart. So if you put in buy limits in this concavity, this lack of price, there's liquidity there in gold, and everybody's aware of this price, and they wish they could buy down here, but they have to overpay a little bit. Everybody has to overpay a little bit at some point. So you got this. Also, you're filling into this hole. So as you fill this hole, you leave a hole behind. Now, if you're the person that doesn't want to sell up here at the tippy top, you want confirmation, you're going to start stacking up your sell stops, right? And then they fill you, and you make your money. But if you think it's going to keep tanking, if you didn't take one of these tickets off, then that could be a problem, because then they're going to just go back up because they left a big hole behind, a big steep hole. So there's two kinds of holes, in my opinion. There's this wedge, then there's the steep hole. Because when it falls down, but see how it usually doesn't do a steep, although you couldn't say that here. See, steep down, consolidate under the floor, steep back up, get it back above that. It's a real rush to judgment. This is like just how the market has this vicious backlash, right? Big love-hate relationship with price points. And if you can afford to buy in an area like this, in a zone, instead of a precise price that you're looking for always, all these over optimized systems of constantly optimizing the over optimization of optimization. That's, I think, where you're just wasting your time. I mean, I don't even know what you're looking for. I mean, I don't know what people are looking for in these markets. I guess you make money and therefore you're successful, or therefore if you make money then you're going to be happy or something like that. Bizarre too, but it is the idea of a lazy lifestyle that you just click a button or make a decision and therefore you're making money. It's kind of weird, but it's not like a normal job either, because you're going to have to it's just, it's monotonous. Look at this gold chart. Look how much money could be made by range trading this. But this is much work as anything else. You keep selling new highs. It's perfect entry every time with the right stop. Comes back. But then, one day, you put your buy limits here and you can't afford this plunge. Right? You gotta size all this stuff in. I think it's perfectly good to buy below here, but with too tight a stop, you're never gonna realize what you think is going to be an engulf of this, and it never does that either. So you've got to scale in and scale out. Who's opening one giant store and saying, no, this is it. You either come here or you don't? I guess that'd be like rebuilding the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, we got a new Eiffel Tower. Anybody want to come? No, there's no franchise. So I'm doing franchising. I'm like, you know what? Over there, they blew it up. Here, it's working. I'm not going to sit there and try to get the perfect entry on the dollar yen. I'm just going to throw that high probability bank of orders below here, and maybe I've got enough dry powder where I can afford it all the way to here, and by here I buy more. Right? That's my system. That's my limit entry system. I'm going to buy more here, based on every one of these wicks. Here. Bet the ranch. Okay? All next week, I'm going to put the buy limits in here like this. It's going to go like this on this account now. Into tonight, this is the new buy low. Just like on the dollar Swiss. It's the buy low scheme. Like this is going to be 15 pips, 35 pips. And I'm going to write a bigger one of these, right? So I'm going to put 20 tickets in this, okay? I don't want to keep pressing this button. So, and I want to do this trade. This is too deep. We're not going down 75 pips in 8 hours. I don't care what you say. There's not enough. Right now, the pattern is this is about to tip over here and go up, right? And go test, say, this trend line. There's a million trend lines in there, I'm sure. Slightly, but I'm not doing this trend line. That don't make no sense. I'm doing trend lines. I'm doing this bottom became a double top. On the 4 hour, that's obvious. We know there's people short, thinking it's going to go after this. I would be holding the long. I would get out at this bottom here on something. I'd have sell limits above there. I'd have buy limits below there. So I'm going to do the buy limit scheme, and I'm just going to make a fat ticket here. Or I'll wait, because I don't want to have to, or I'll do the singles for right now. So here's the other option. I'm going to go, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do this. All day long, 20 pips deep, all day, I'm just going to click all this shit. Now, if these were all 12 hours, here's a 12-hour, 30 pips deep. That's perfect. There's plenty of money in the account. $10,000 free margin. I'm going to buy like right around here. This is just more work. More clicking. But I could write a script that's 50 orders in one click. Right? And it could have different stops. It could have different. It could just be a composite of what you would do on 3, 4 order scripts you typically launch. You go, you know what? I always do that. Let's just do it again. Let's just write one big script that does that same stupid thing over and over again. And that's the answer on that one. You just go with what's going to be the best fit. Now, the circus of looking at all of these pairs with bad, look at this British pound pulling back. So this looks like an obvious buy. 8 hours here, all day here, 20 pips deep. 8 hours, 25. We'll go every 5 pips. 8 hours, 12 hours. 12 hours at 35 pips. 40 pips deep, 12 hours. Big fat stop to make 24. It's killer. Let's let it go. Now, these might have to be 20, 10Ks. Otherwise, you got to keep fucking clicking this, right? But this broker's letting me trade like you cannot believe. You cannot believe how many tickets I have. I do it right now. I'm in like $2.5 million position. It's insane. But I'll tell you, this broker's slow as can be, and you could arbitrage the hell out of these people. They don't even know. I mean, they're putting out prices that are like not even real, but they're honoring my trades. I'm making money from the traders in their sandbox, so to speak. So, dollar Swiss just coming back off the floor. What do you know? And we take out that low, that deep discount from down here. Oof. Oh boy. The bankers wanted that price. Yeah, they did. Oh, so let's take a look at the RSI. And you have to run your charts almost like this if you're going to put indicators down here. I'm going to put the 13 and the 3-period RSI. That should be enough psychosis for this example. Okay, let's go for delete all objects here. Clean this puppy up. Throw another indicator in here. Okay, insert. Very simple system here, RSI. We can draw trend lines on it. That's where I got the idea to draw the trend lines on closing prices. I'm like, yeah, I'm drawing them on RSI, and I'm killing my analysis. RSI is a leading indicator. You can't get any better than that for knowing what's coming next. I'm gonna go for 13 here, and we're gonna put in the magic of Fibonacci right there. I realized. Then we're going to take and delete the number 2 because I want to have the 13 on bottom. I like the idea of the faster being at the bottom. We'll just change the settings. Panel 1. Make this 13. Lucky 13. What does it tell you that they don't have a 13th floor in these buildings? These people are probably trading Fibonacci. People that build those buildings. You don't understand, man. It's safer if you just... Yeah, I guess they don't want the customers to go. Did you see that movie? What the hell? What is wrong? We're babysitting people's and stupid super strips, Justin. To babysit that too. Well, somebody just passed a bill about that. Cortez, I think. See, now the problem with, let me just say this about that. The problem with the RSI at 13 ain't no, it's just not getting it. See, it's not getting it. So, you're going to see how there's divergence here. But there's no divergence here. Oh, that's why I wouldn't bother with 13. It's cool for trend lines, right? Because you can really So Cardwell, he just looks at this. He's like, oh, yeah, shit. I'll just trade this. Put a trend line in that. Let's see if my tool's out. Got trend line. Breaks, comes back, sell. Plus, you see the reversal. No reversal in RSI here. But here you got it. And you get it again. This is the longer legged one. You've already broke down. So the RSI. Here's a divergence in RSI you're not getting here. And so you don't have to stretch the 3 period so much. Let's go so for a scrunch down 3 period. Right, so you can see it very clearly here, the divergence you're not getting from. I'm almost ready to fix the scale on this and stretch the RSI here. A lot of it has to do with there's not enough space on your computer to really. So let's see what happened there. We got this divergence here. This is a pretty good trade, I think. It's really going slow because I got too many orders in here for the platform for me to manipulate the price. I need like a Bitcoin card for this. Okay, this is a nice counter trend sell. See how this worked out. Somebody asked me, do I run RSI? Not really. I kind of know. When I see the line chart, I can see the RSI in my mind's eye by now. I don't look down. Plus, I had to admit, I never look down at RSI when the market's open. I'm just looking at my balance going, can I afford to fucking hold this trade? So I just don't even look at it. You know, I look at it now, I can tell you, you know, these are real things that do happen. And this is a perfectly good trade here. It's like a perfectly good phone call. And so this beautiful divergence here in the 3 period, but not in the 13. So you may see the divergence, but they're very long-legged. Like here's divergence, right? And it looks kind of crooked here. And then here is the convergence. That's divergence. This is convergence. They both are going down. But this is more oversold. Right? These agree. I mean, these are inverted. So what is the cause of the reversal is the also here's another one. I just didn't really even realize it here. But see here. There's the third. It's very like Where's Waldo. This is more oversold at a higher price, but not in RSI. It's not giving you that signal, see? This would have to be down deeper than that. This is a very fast trading system. Also the divergence here. You don't see that in RSI 13. So look at this entry. Divergence, you'll see a reversal. Divergence, and kind of a reversal. That's why I don't use RSI typically too much. Here's another reversal. More oversold even more than we were here. Another entry, right? So, RSI. Try to stay on topic. Relative Strength Index. No nonsense. Has no brain. Can't see it. Plus he's probably using 13 or some shit. 14. Yeah, you can't see it. There's just not enough trading frequency for me. I don't know how long these people are planning on living. But fear of missing out's a real thing, and you got to have a trade plan for it. There was this time that people used to say, you got to trade without emotion. Listen, dude, that might work for you, but fuck these people. Fuck them. I got a trade plan. I got an anger plan built on the scripts I wrote. Jack, come on, come. No, it's down, is it? Let's buy. Everybody's bearish. Fuck them. I'm a contrarian, dude. It's more money in being a contrarian than going with the popular kids on all the indicators. Yeah, that's what he no nonsense preaches. Of course, he's totally contradicts. He's a hypocrite, right? Can't we admit that? And but people just they glom onto it. They love the safety of. It's like last night with the band. I'm like, you guys are kidding, right? I was like, I don't know. People that what do they call it, pop culture. But what are you gonna do? In the end, we have to be able to be congruent. Now that is the one thing that I did take. The other $2,000 I spent was a 3-day weekend in Chicago with a psychologist, trading psychologist, who was so dry and so. At that point, I guess I was like the guy that's saying to me, "Hey, what's with the fucking account? You're down like $7,000." Is that the truth of the matter is that why are you trading in the first place, right? Why are you bothering? Like you don't even. And then, okay, well, you're just going to have to. And luckily, with the magic of MT4, because up to that point, I would say, yeah, if I had to trade commodities again, end of the day data, paying $36 to pick up the phone and put an order in, yeah, probably not going to do it. But now, I mean, literally costing to run that business, one guy trading commodities in the Chicago Board of Trade, it's going to cost you $1,500 a month. $500 for data and commissions, and the rest maybe you get stopped out. Maybe you are making $3,000 a month, but it's gonna maybe you're losing $1,000 a month. Maybe you're making five. You gotta be so fucking good in that game. You can't trade micro lots. You can't trade mini contracts. You can't even trade a mini contract. You're all in. You're in a standard lot when you trade commodities. So I don't know. People are just coming out of this forex scene, not seeing that it's not risky at all. It's not risky. It's a risk maybe involved. Are you fucking retarded? You put $300 in the account, they blew it up. You got 10 cents left. Nobody's calling you to deposit more money. I don't know what broker you're using. Just use a bucket shop, dude. You're not fucking George Soros. I don't know. This whole thing, the people are telling me before, oh, your platform's a shit. I can tell you're not professional. I don't give a fuck. When you professional, this Anton, you'd be a professional trader. Okay, I'll put on a suit. Does it make you feel better? If it makes you trade better, do it by all means. Right? If you have to dress up like a girl, go for it. That you trade better that way. Who knows what you're seeing? That's my edge. My edge is dressing up like a hooker. I'm killing in the markets because I'm just a humble trader. You gotta wonder, but whatever. So here we are. The bulls are coming back to town, man. They're not done with the euro, so I don't know what they're gonna do to my Swiss trade, but you gotta be pretty cavalier for me. You gotta be glib, cavalier, and just really pissed off. That's my trading style. What's your edge? Being an asshole. What's your edge? Get the fuck out of here. Don't be so polite. There was some guy reading through the Discord there. No nonsense. Is everybody having a good day? Fuck you. I hope everybody had a profitable weekend. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I wouldn't hear about it. Like these guys, one guy is like, I'm still holding my British pound trade. Okay. You're a brave soul. You brave person, you. So if you're scalping, it's different than your swing trading. Can we all agree? Like, what kind of trade are you doing? And like, sure, you could survive some of these. If you're all in this one strategy, yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. Oh, I just figured out what I did here. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. That's not going to work out. All in, just you're always gonna be losing some kind of money here. Maybe you want to cut your losses. Yeah, maybe I could have gone like I didn't like I said I wasn't going to sell into that sell off. I could have, but I wasn't gonna have. That was another more button pressing for a demo account. I just said, you know what? I know it's gonna tank. Let me just get in on limits. So I just threw the array out there. I accepted the plunge. I accepted that entry style of buying at pullbacks in a giant lattice of orders. Okay, that I just don't care. I'm just gonna shotgun the market. Like this guy said in the comments, yeah, I'm either gonna have a shotgun approach. I'm never gonna get that precision. I'm always gonna put a cluster of orders in a 20 pip window. It may be only fill on just a couple, right? I don't get a full fill, maybe, right? So it's not. I'm never gonna have this precision idea ever again in my life. It's not gonna happen because it's bouncing around, and I've got. To me, the ultimate is to have the right trade plan for the right conditions. Can I run 8 pip stops or 16 pip stops here? Can I put in pendings that are just 5 pips away from current price? Or should I put them in 10 because the market's moving quickly? This is all a consideration, right? It's as if you are, I don't know what it compares to. Maybe boating and fishing. Okay, the fish are over here now. Well, now they're over there. They're going to be there in the morning. Yeah, I mean, it's just how it is. The market. So it's definitely, it's easy from the standpoint that you always know Asia's going to be dead. It's time for you to analyze the market, put on a fucking position, close your eyes, and just let it happen. The other side of that coin is putting in limits above, limits below, and saying, I don't know how far they're going to push it, but let's get in on something going the other way. And once you experience that that's also a winning strategy, and they both coexist, if you're in the United States, you're going to have to buy as the euro goes up, you're buying the plunge and the dollar Swiss maybe. They're not completely mirrored out, but something in that order. Or dollar CAD's plunging. You can see the dollar's getting crushed across the board. Get into something you can swing trade. And the only way to swing trade it profitably is to scale in every 10 pips, because you don't. If you're running a 200 pip stop, you're trying to absorb 100 pips of crush in that strategy. That's one strategy. You could be getting half-hour signals and selling a standard lot with an 8 pip stop to make 20 pips every 4 hours into somebody else's swing trading strategy, right? They can both happen at the same time. And they typically are. There's somebody that's making money from small moves. There's somebody making money from big moves. And you just have to adjust the scale. So in the end, dollar-wise, you have the same dollar risk. So you have to backwards engineer it from how much money do you have? And people say, I'm running a 10 pip stop. I'm like, yeah, but is that on a 10K or is that on a standard lot? That's a whole different trade, I think. Got one more gust of wind to the north here. I think we're going to rally into the opening of Europe here on the euro again. So hopefully I scalped out of something on this. It looks like I took about $1,000 profit here already on this bounce. So, it's really difficult to say. And of course, if you're discouraged by buying what you thought would be, wow, I'm buying the liquid area, but it gets more and more liquid. It keeps on tanking. What am I doing? Why didn't I sell? I don't think that I'm never going to torture myself with why aren't I selling now, because that's not what I was planning on doing in the original swing trade. And I'm like, wow, sure, if I would have jumped on the 1 hour chart and said, let's get in right here, right now, big, god damn it, right? But if I'm not, I don't really want to have to worry about that. And I'm going to swing trade it. I'm committed to the swing trade. The scalp thing, it's 4 hours congested. I see we're probably going to burst. Okay, I'm going to load up. I'm going to take my 30 pips and run. So take $300, take $500, go back to sleep. The market might go down the other way, plunging into my limit grids, and then I'm like, all right, let's do that trade. Or maybe nothing's going to happen, and I'm still up. But the last thing I'm going to do, well, I guess I could, there's no consideration. You do RSI, you're going to go from chart to chart to chart. And on the larger time frames, so another thing is that on the larger time frames, you have to use a faster RSI naturally. Just like on the larger time frames, I would use faster moving average. The only time it's good to run a 100-period moving average, in my opinion, is on a 1-minute chart. On a 5-minute chart, I would put a 50-period moving average, and I'd say it looks like the trend's down. Let's try and places the. But once again, you're getting further away from the crux of this is the trade plan. The trade plan. How much are you going to risk? Look, I have to stretch the shit out of this RSI 13 to get any kind of anything out of it. Look at the top of this. So here's divergence. And I think this is what the guy's talking about. This is the divergence he's seeing. Nice triple top. Right? Perfect divergence on the. This is what people call divergence on MACD. These big long-legged divergences like this. I think that's what they're referring to. Because people look at this structure. What I'm saying, there's ways to make money here. I see how people's greedy eyes see this as the entry. Wow, if I could just sell there. Yeah, but you could have sold here, made this. You could have sold here because of this wick and made that. Or you could have bought this plunge. You could have bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here. Yeah, that's a nice move. And were you in, you just, sure, right? So there's your divergence. I never know what trades people are talking about. They're like, I'm short this line. That. Okay, well, but for an hour or for 8 days? Okay, let me look at this. I'm just going to stretch this out one more second. So, yeah, I mean, you could look at this stuff. You could put it on all the currency pairs. I got to open the indicator and fix this. So, here's another trick. You got to go in here, indicator list. And now you got to go into this thing. And you got to hard set the levels. Where is it? Oh, wait a second. I thought there was a way to crop the levels. Oh, here it is. So we're going to put the minimum at 30. Oh, shit. Okay, 30. This is a fixed minimum. So now we're going to get some more dimension out of this. And we're going to say 80 on the top. Just cropping it. All right. We should be able to see it better now. Actually, I should have cropped it higher maybe. Okay. Buying some more euro. One more price pulse in the euro tonight. It's coming into London. I'd crop that even more, but see how that is? That's climbing up here. So what Cardwell does is he's looking at this, he looks for signals here. Also, he's the one that kind of showed me the top become a bottom thing. In RSI, this top becomes a bottom, right? You pull back, you're buying here. So you usually get this in RSI and you don't get it in price, is the reason. That's why it's a leading indicator. Right, because we don't get a top become a bottom. See, this top become a bottom here. It's not happening here. It's only happening on an angle there. Right, this is a momentum indicator. We have a top become a bottom here. Not here, it's happening at an angle here. So you're really looking at RSI structures on the 13 now. You can't really do that on the 3. So that's what the 13 is good for. I would treat the 13 like price. So the juicier signals are, this is RSI is rising, which means the relative strength's going up. At the same time, this is going up. You got a trend line here. So you get your signal. Your signal's here. RSI is going up. Let me switch time frames. I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart. So this will be very dramatic and a lot more higher frequency trading here on the 4-hour naturally, right? Okay, so here it's a little more dramatic. And of course now I kind of screwed it up because I fixed the scale so hard there. But see how RSI is really down. It's down in the dumps. Let's see if I can find the reversal here. More overbought at a lower price is the entry signal. It shows up in RSI 13 and RSI 3. This is what you're looking for. See this? Also structurally, a bottom becomes a double top in RSI. It's not going to happen here. This bottom is not going to become a double top. But it does in RSI, see? Support becomes resistance. So the 13, you're going to treat it differently. It's more of a structure thing. See, this bottom becomes a top in RSI. Sell. It's a bottom become a top in price, kind of, too. There's almost a little reversal before we tank. Here's a reversal in RSI 13 that's not showing up in here. Right? This is more overbought, slightly lower price. Cardwell is using the 14. But he has a 3. And he has a 3 with a simple period moving average smoothed out 3 also. So he has a 3 with an SMA, really too laggy for me. So it is true. See, this is kind of a reversal where, this is a reversal here. This is another reversal, but this is very dramatic. But then, of course, you could also make the argument, and I have noticed that this is the other way to look at it. This is the divergence of price of the RSI. This is diverging on the 3, 13's up, and price is down. Pretty topsy-turvy. This is when everything turns and goes the other way, kind of, so to speak. What else? It's hard to see all this at once. The price is, see, if you have the vertical monitor, it's different. Let me scrunch that down. So as this thing's walking down, and of course, it goes well beyond the target there. Here's some divergence a little bit, dead cat bounce, and once again, another seller's come in because once again we are more overbought here than we are here. Price is lower again, another sell. Back to this pivot, we kind of pop above, and then there's also this, this like vacuum here, right? But see, nobody comes in. Look at how relative strength index reacts to this move. Big up move. Baby up move. Big up here. So that's causing the reversals. This is more overbought. Well, price isn't lower though. This would have been your last reversal. It's not showing up. So it looks like this is your current reversal, right? And would I take a trade based on that? No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm looking at the structures, honestly. I mean, it does exist because when the market moves fiercely like that, but it's typically caving into a hole, and it moves fiercely like that, and then there's no reaction. It kind of goes sideways, and then it's like, we're just running out of gas here. But there are people long here holding, and as soon as we start to come up here, they'll cash out, and there's probably a bunch of sellers here to pull it back down. And it's going to get all sideways and choppy. And as it gets congested and goes sideways this week, this is a whole new week of trading. Whole new week of punishment. Of pulling the trigger. Placing these damn orders, but that's what it is. I mean, you gotta love it. It's better than going deaf with people that are just trying so hard to play music. Dude, you don't have to try that hard. God, I'm glad I'm not having sex with you. Would somebody get hurt? I try to keep it to just playing music. It's like we don't need whips and chains. I know you're there. Okay? You have to beat me. One last party to the north side for the bulls tonight on the euro. No sellers came in. So nothing but a scalp off the top. Sellers are going to come in a little bit on this, but these guys do not run in sync. They correlate and they discorrelate. This is the Swiss. Swiss franc monster amount of tickets in there. Limits pending though. Limits to buy another plunge. Because I'm very stubborn. That's how I built my system. We got the British pounds keep going up. Them British pound traders. Looks like we're going to go up. And I'm going to put the limits in here tonight. I'm also going to drop some dumbass trades on this broker. Buy limits. Only one here to a customer though. Weekly buy limits. Oh, these are all pending. Good for the whole week. So, low maintenance trading system here. I didn't start with a perfect slate, so I can't really judge the outcome of this. Well, I guess I could. Even though we've had some wins and losses here and other things, we're up $100 here in United States. Okay. All right. I'll stretch that. I don't like that thing I have on the scale fixer is bullshit. I want to fight that thing. There's my buy limit grid. Buy limit grid left over from. I don't think we're going down there. It looks like we're taking a ride north here on the dollar yen train. Hey, the daily cloud says green. I'm going to go with that. I got to get rid of that thing. Okay. Breakout, pull back. Buyers are coming in on the daily here for another romp north. It looks like this is the breakout point. Another ride north on the euro. They're still going to punish the dollar tonight some more. This is the top, become a bottom, breakout. Still got buy limits running here all week. All week long. Yeah, I guess you got to write a pretty dense order here. It's just too difficult. Yeah, they really fucked the traders over here. Here's another view. This is the cloud. Those are the cells I was running. So I guess I could put the buy limits in. Right? And whichever fills. There you go. That's the 1 week I think this guy estimated you could lose about 120 or make 120 or something like this. I can't remember. Another failed fill here on the buy limit side of dollar Swiss. She just didn't fall through the floor enough. Not enough sellers. Damn it. Wrong template. Let's take a zoom out view. Daily chart. Another big fake sell off there. So the scalpers are about to get out, make their couple bucks. High probability exits here. They gobbled up about 30 pips there. This is the wick I was talking about. Once we crush this, there was one chance to board the short train on the 4 hour. That little rally, load the wagon, anticipate a crush of this. Buyers are coming in here. Swing traders coming in there, buying. Flags out, kind of pops people. A little bit of trend continuation. My question is, do you think this trend is sustainable? I think not. So I'm just going to hold my giant swing trade. And of course, if I can get out here, I will go flat and I should have about $5,000. We'll be at 25 grand. Okay. From 2 grand on the other account. If we ever make it to here, if we ever pop that lonely wick, I'm cashing out into that. We'll make 75 pips. $2 million position. We should make pretty good money. All right, RSI. The ultimate indicator. Stop it with the moving averages. Stop it with the volume indicators. Just stop it. Or I'm going to call somebody. We'll do an intervention.